Greetings and welcome to another CVMSDC Virtual Capabilities Briefing. Our special guest today is James Mills of Edward Spencer Employee Benefits Group. I'm your event producer, Taya Bolton, with the PR Pros team. We have an informative session planned for today, and we are so excited to get started. Before we do get started, let me go ahead and cover a bit of housekeeping with you. All of our audience participants are muted. However, you can submit a question using the question box feature in the GoToWebinar dashboard on your screen. It normally docks itself over to the right. Also, today's session is being recorded and will be available for you to review and share with your colleagues post-event. You can view that recording from the CVMSDC website at cvmsdc.org/webinars. Now, I'm pleased to go ahead and introduce our CVMSDC President and CEO, Dominique Milton, to open up today's session.
Thank you so much, Taya, for that opening. And I am so excited to have James Mills here with us today for our virtual capabilities briefing. For those of you who are not aware, our VCB series allows our members to be able to share their capability briefing with their potential customers. Because they can't meet face-to-face, we created this platform to share their capability briefing. This capability briefing will live on our website and will also live on James's website if he so chooses. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to James Mills, owner and CEO of Edward Spencer Employee Benefits Group. James grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and then Irvington, New Jersey. We share that in common. After high school, he spent 9 years in the U.S. Army. He married his high school sweetheart in 1992, and today James and Ruth Mills have 3 adult children and 4 grandchildren. They currently live in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, which is where they landed when he got out of the Army. James entered the financial service industry in 2004, serving families with insurance and financial planning. James has a strong desire and track record for service to his community. James has served on multiple boards and commissions and currently serves as chairman of the Redevelopment Commission for the City of Rocky Mount, chairman of the Wild Acres Leadership Initiative, and co-chair of the Piedmont Ring for CVMSDC. We are thankful for his leadership in our ring, and without further ado, I want to turn it over to James to share with you about his company, Edward Spencer Employee Benefits. And I will add that we just hired James to do the benefits for CVMSDC, and the process was very smooth and transparent, and we are very happy with his services. So James, welcome.
Thank you, Dominique, and thank you for the CVMSDC for allowing me this opportunity to present. As she said, I am James Mills. I'm the owner and CEO of Edward Spencer Employee Benefits Group. We're located in Raleigh, North Carolina at 4141 Park Lake Avenue, again in Raleigh. Edward Spencer Employee Benefits Group is a highly experienced managed services provider focused on assisting companies in designing efficient, effective, and scalable employee benefits plans while reducing overall costs and HR requirements. Our consultative approach, cutting-edge technology, and concierge-level human resources support ensures that our clients remain competitive, cost-effective, and compliant with respect to their employee benefits offerings. By working with us, our clients can recruit and retain top talent by providing their employees with comprehensive benefits and a superior participant experience. I spent 9 years in the Army as a finance and evaluations clerk. This is where I developed my love and interest in all things finance. When I got out, I initially went into the manufactured housing sales business, then eventually entered into insurance and financial services in early 2004, working primarily with families and individuals, providing holistic financial planning. About 6 years ago, I transitioned my practice to working with business owners and their families. Often the business owners would then ask about their employees. That ultimately led to me doing employee benefits. In doing this work, I found that companies in the 5 to 500 employee space was an underserved market, and I started my company to service this market. Today, we are certified as an MBE from NMSDC and the North Carolina Office of Historically Underutilized Businesses, and as a service-disabled veteran-owned business by the NVBDC, National Veterans Business Development Council, and the VA, Veterans Administration. So there are 6 major services that we provide to assist our clients in providing a comprehensive benefits package. The first is employee benefits needs analysis and plan design. This starts with the employee census and a very thorough conversation with you and or your HR team. We ask questions such as, why do you want to offer benefits? Why do you want your benefits? What do you want your benefits package to accomplish? Is there anything that your staff is asking for that you don't currently offer? Tell me what you like about your benefits plan. Tell me what you don't like about your benefits plan. We then take this information and create a package that meets your goals. Once we've agreed on the right package, we then act as your broker and go to shop the market to get the best rates and or program to meet your goals. We get quotes from multiple carriers. Then once we have those in hand, we go back to the carriers to match rates. This way, you know that you're getting the most cost-effective plan. Next is scalable HR services and compliance support. We understand that every company is different, so the levels of support needed at each company is different. Sometimes we work directly with the business owner who's handling the HR functions. Sometimes companies are outsourcing their HR functions, so we work with them. And then more mature or larger companies tend to have in-house HR staff. We work with each level, providing the level of support that they need. Often we find that smaller companies don't have the resources to ensure that they are meeting the compliance obligations, and we help guide them in this area to make sure that they're up to date on their taxes, they're not providing discrimination in their plans. Again, we just kind of help guide them to make sure that they offer a great plan. Technology solutions and benefit administration. By having and providing technology solutions, we help make the enrollment process seamless. We work with all of the major ben admin systems, and we're able to offer Employee Navigator to you at no cost. This allows employees to go online and enroll in their benefits package when they become eligible. Because they are inputting the data themselves, this tends to provide fewer errors. I once had 17 electricians that all worked out in the field. It took several extra days because whenever we would get the forms back, they were either incomplete or incorrect. By going to an online platform, it allows people to go online, input the data themselves, and the system won't let them out until everything is correct. Again, providing a more seamless and efficient process. Also, a good system integrates with your payroll, so that it makes it easier for you to manage. It allows you to print reports and also just stay on top of your people. Employee education and enrollment management. We provide annual education sessions to your staff to ensure that they are aware of the benefits offered and understand how these benefits will help them. The last thing you want as an employer is to be paying for a package that no one knows or understands. Greater understanding leads to increased participation, which leads to a happier staff, which should lead to greater productivity. Consolidated billing services. Some employers are looking for a streamlined approach. By using our consolidated billing, you would make one payment to ESCBG and we'll pay the different carriers on your behalf. We also provide monthly reconciliation so that you know that you aren't overpaying. I mentioned earlier about our diversity certifications. So if you're a corporate looking for a diverse supplier, or you're applying to corporate and have to report diversity spend, by making your premium payments directly to ESCBG, this qualifies you for that indirect credit. So how do we do it? We do it by supporting and servicing all major carriers for employer paid and voluntary worksite benefits. The first benefit obviously is health insurance. We work with all the major carriers, Blue Cross, Aetna, United Healthcare, all of them. Health insurance tends to be the most sought after, but it's also the most costly benefit. The second is dental insurance. It's the second most used benefit at the health. It includes semi-annual exams, free cleanings, and then you can also add orthodontia. Vision, again, annual exams, glasses, contacts, etc. Group term life. Most employers tend to offer this as employer paid. Then we can add voluntary life as well as dependent life so that your employees can add more as they want via payroll deduction. Disability. Disability replaces income in the event that your employee is sick or injured. It provides peace of mind and allows the employee to focus on getting well instead of how they're going to pay their bills. You can also add individual disability for your highly compensated folks, since most group coverage only goes up to about $5,000 or $6,000 a month. If you have somebody making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, that's not enough. So you can add an individual plan on top of that to cover those expenditures that's not being covered. Next is accident. Accident is another inexpensive benefit. I typically recommend that employers offer it as employer paid. It pays cash directly to the insured. I like to call it deductible insurance. It can be used to pay deductibles on your health insurance. What we found is if employees use it once, they love it. It also includes a wellness benefit, usually $50, $75, $100, which encourages your employees to go to the doctor to get regular checkups. Next is long-term care. Most employers are not aware that you can offer long-term care as a benefit to your staff. I mean, again, you can offer it payroll deducted. So it's just really a great benefit. Critical illness also pays cash. It covers major events such as heart attack, stroke, cancer. Then you also have legal shield and identity theft. So this current COVID world that we're in right now, there's a lot of scams going on. Here's a way that you can protect your employees should something happen. And then last but not least are executive benefits. People have been known, call them golden handcuffs. What it does is to provide the benefits to your key employees to get them to stay. So our goal is to help you design a plan that helps you meet your goals. A good plan should help you to be able to recruit and retain good employees. When you're trying to grow your business, you need good people that you can depend on. A properly designed benefits plan should put you in a position to do just that. Let us help you either design a new plan or update the plan that you have. Here's my contact information. Please visit our website and also sign up for our newsletter.
Thank you,
And
James.
at this point,
yep. We're in the Q&A session. Thank you. Sorry to cut you off. So great presentation. You know, I would like to think as an employee, I was on the corporate side and I was on the MBE side, but I would like to think that anywhere you go to work, you'd be able to get benefits, right?
we would like that, but a lot of employers do not offer it.
Right.
Some think that they can't afford it. But yeah, good benefits plan should help attract the right employees. So yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to think that, but as you said, there are a lot of small businesses who don't think that they can afford to provide health benefits. Why is it important for them to contract with a benefits provider to do so?
So I think we all agree that one of our, if not the most important resource we have is our human resources. And when we're trying to grow our company, you need good people that you can depend on. So just recently, I had a small business owner contact me, and she says that she's been using part-time help, and people, she has high turnover, she can't grow. So she realizes as she's recruiting and talking to candidates, they're all asking about what's your benefit package. So she's understanding if she wants to grow and scale her business, she has to be able to provide, like you said, what her competitors are providing. So again, if you're trying to grow your company, you definitely need to be offering a benefits package.
That's good. And how big does your company need to be? Like, we function as a small business pretty much. I fluctuate between 5 to 7 employees at CVMSDC, and you were able to help us even giving our part-time employees benefits. So how small does the company have to be? What's the minimum size, I should say, for them to be able to call you for benefits?
Sure. So I tend to consider myself to be a very creative person. So I can usually help just about any size company. If we're talking about group, the minimum is usually about 5.
Okay.
But again, there are some creative ways, if you have less than 5, that we may be able to do something. So I have it's a mechanic shop. The 2 owners are both veterans and are able to get their health care through, I guess, the VA or something. And then the rest of the staff are young 20-something guys who don't want to pay for it, but he had one guy that needed it. So we were able to put together a plan to cover just that one guy. So it can be creative, but truly a group plan is about 5.
That sounds good. Okay. So from a larger corporate perspective or a large MBE who has over 50 employees, how difficult is it to transition? Because those size companies already have a plan in place, like we had a plan in place, right? And
Right.
you were able to walk in and make that transition for us very seamless. Talk to our audience about moving from the existing carrier that you have or existing employee benefits group that you have to a new employee benefits group and the complexity there.
So again, going back to beginning of the process, we definitely want to have a conversation about what you're trying to accomplish. And we usually want to have that conversation 2 to 3 months out from when your renewal comes up. This gives us a chance again to have that conversation, to go back and forth to figure out what you want. Because sometimes you'll say this and then tomorrow you'll come back and say, you know what, I thought about.
Right.
And then it gives me the opportunity to go and shop the market, put together a plan that fits you. Because sometimes, like in your case, you had 2 life plans, but what you're trying to accomplish, it didn't match. So we were able to fix that. So I would say in terms of time frame, 2 to 3 months out, and just be willing to just lay it all out, what you're looking to accomplish. What do you like about your plan? What do you want to add? What do you want to take away? What do you want to accomplish? When we have those conversations, then our team can help you figure out what you're trying to figure it out.
Okay, good. Well, I would just share with our audience, there was no heavy lifting on my part. I did just what you said. I laid out what I wanted. I had some part-timers who were looking for some benefit options. We'd never offered benefits before to our part-timers. And I wanted to save some money. So not only did you allow me to stay with my current health plan, but you gave me some new products. You gave me products for my part-timers, and I ended up saving some money. And I didn't have to do anything except sign the paperwork after I reviewed the options. So it was a very easy lift for me. And I just want to share that with our corporate clients, who are looking to make some changes. And then I'm able to say, now I'm doing business with an MBE, able to help you out. And we all benefit. It was a win-win for all of us. So Taya, thank you for that, James. Taya, do you have any questions from our audience?
I actually do have a few questions that have come in, and one of them is very similar to what you just asked, but I think the second leg of that question is when you are doing kind of the comparison, James, of what someone currently has versus what it is they want, do you put together some sort of a cost evaluation for them?
Absolutely, absolutely. Typically, we'll do like again, we get quotes from multiple carriers, and we lay all of them out side by side. So your company A may offer your disability cheaper than company B, but company B's dental may be cheaper. So we lay all of that out. Sometimes it's more efficient to keep it all with one carrier. But if the individual prices aren't right, I'll go back to that carrier and say, hey, company B is offering this particular line for this. Will you match it? With most of my carriers, I'm a platinum producer. So usually 9 times out of 10, I can get that price matched. So yeah, we lay it all out so you can see the differences, but behind the scenes, we also go to work to try to get the best program is also the best price.
I love that you're negotiating on the customer's behalf. That's awesome.
That's great.
Another question that has come up is, could you talk about what options you provide for IRAs or retirement plans for companies under 5 employees?
Companies under 5 employees, I would recommend a simple IRA. So obviously there's a 401k and all that. But if you're looking to offer it as a company benefit, I would recommend a simple IRA versus a 401k. You can do a 401k, but the compliance requirements are going to be onerous and the costs are more expensive. You can do a simple IRA with virtually no cost to you other than any kind of matches that you're offering. So 5 employees or less, I would recommend a simple IRA. And then as we grow and get scale, we can look at a 401k or other options.
Great, thank you. And then one more question is, can I offer benefits to some employees and not to others?
So you got to be careful of discrimination. So we have classes of employees, full-time versus part-time, executives versus our frontline staff. So whatever you offer to one class, you have to offer it to everybody in that class. But as Dominique was saying, sometimes people don't realize they can offer benefits to their part-timers. We've been able to make that work. So yeah, it can be done. Just, you can't discriminate. If you offer to one class, you have to offer everything to that class. And, obviously they choose whether or not they want it, but you have to offer it to everybody.
That's good. Okay. James, what about you staying abreast of current technologies? And my husband is a CFP, and he has to keep his licenses up and take certain classes each year. Talk to me about that, making sure that you stay abreast.
So I love to read. So I do my personal training, but all the different insurance and investment licenses I have CE requirements, so I have multiple classes every year. Right. Thanks to CVMSDC, I'm taking the executive leadership class now. So yes, I definitely try to stay abreast. And anytime there's a class available, I find myself in it.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm glad that you're in the University of Richmond class. For our listeners, we offer full scholarships for our members to our educational programs, and those scholarships are supported by our corporate partners. So I'm glad you're able to take advantage of that. So you've told me one or two stories. Tell me one more, your favorite story of how you've helped a company.
Okay. So employer, because I have one for employee and one for the employer. But for the employer, I have a company, the owners, husband and wife, he's in his early 60s, she's in her late 50s, but their entire staff is in their 20s and 30s. So their health insurance that they were buying on their own for them personally, they were spending about $1,700 a month. We were able to come in and provide coverage to their staff, and their out-of-pocket cost is less than $1,700 a month. So they actually love me because we saved them some money, and it helped them with the turnover because their people had been asking for benefits.
Great story. Great story.
For an employee, several years ago during the H1N1 scare, we had an employee that was diagnosed with H1N1, and within a week of diagnosis, he was in a coma. Was only in the coma for a couple of weeks, but he was out of work for about 2 years. During that time period, he didn't have to worry about how he's gonna have to pay his bills. He and his wife, only thing they had to focus on was him getting well and coming back to work. The plan that we had put together for him would have covered him until age 65. He didn't need it, but again, he was just really glad that only thing he had to focus on was getting well, and he was appreciative of his employer for offering that benefit, and he told me, so I talked about the enrollment process and us talking through it. I remember telling everyone, hey, this is short-term disability, this is long-term. The company was paying for short-term, and the long-term was the employee had to pay for. So he told me that he was initially not going to take the long-term, but in our talk, he decided to go with it. And because he did, he had that coverage during that time period. So
great story. Yeah, thank you for that. So who's your ideal customer, James?
I really like customers that, want to learn and want to provide the best benefit. I don't know. I guess Army and all that, I'm all about service. So people that want to do best for their people, that just like inspires me. It makes me want to go over and above. So I guess the bulk of my business, probably in terms of concentration, about 40% of them are in the construction field. So a lot of these guys don't know this stuff, but they know that they want to take care of their people. I love that, and that's who I want to help, people who want to take care of their people.
Excellent, outstanding. So let's do the fill in the blanks. That's my last question. As a company, I should call Edward Spencer Employee Benefits Group when?
So if you don't have benefits, when you're tired of your turnover and you want to grow, but you realize that you need good people, benefits will help you with that. You need to call me. If you are a company that already has benefits, you need to call me 2 to 3 months before your renewal and let me go to work for you to see if I can save you some money and also put together a plan that fits your needs, not something that just somebody gave you because they think that was, is a good plan, but it's actually one that meets your goal.
Outstanding. Perfect. Thank you so much. Any closing comments?
I just thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, I do. We're trying to grow. We're happy things are going well, but anytime we get the opportunity to speak and tell about our company, it's exciting. And I appreciate CVMSDC and you, Dominique, for making this opportunity available.
Sounds great. We're glad to be able to be of service. Taya, any other questions before I wrap up?
That's it for now. That was a great presentation. Thank you.
All righty. James, we're going to wrap up now, but I want to remind our audience that if anybody listening is interested in a VCB, that's a virtual capability briefing, to reach out to us at info@cvmsdc.org. Also, I encourage you to visit our calendar on a weekly basis. That's cvmsdc.org. Go to events and calendar, and you can sign up for our ring meetings and our webinar series. We have a Straight Talk series with Lasagna Berry so that you can learn how to do business with our corporate partners. We have a Lunch and Learn series where I interview our newest corporate partners and other members of the community. And then we have this VCB series. So it is important for you to tune in on a regular basis to stay abreast of what's going on with CVMSDC. Finally, as we close out, I want you all to mark your calendars for December 2nd and 3rd for our year-end largest event. It is sponsored by Bank of America and Clemson University. It will be a combination of our Business Opportunity Conference and our MBE Summit. Again, December 2nd and 3rd, we will have workshops. We will have keynote speakers, consultants to help you turn the corner into 2021. We're going to have a matchmaking series, and in addition to our general matchmaking series, we're going to be adding a construction matchmaking series this year. We're going to have awards, fun, and more. So I expect to see each of you there. Registration should open in early October, and you should each be signing up for our newsletter. On our website, you can sign up for our newsletter, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at about 7:30 in the morning, there's a newsletter that comes out, and you can stay abreast of what's going on through that newsletter. So with that, it is a wrap. Thank you, James Mills, for joining us today, and I look forward to having some new participants in our VCB program. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Be safe.